All right, so I am headed to Sprouts to go pick up some stuff for lunch and dinner. Speaking of lunch and dinner, I know you guys are gonna wanna know, for lunch today, we're doing a balsamic chicken with some farro and roasted vegetables. And then for dinner, Grandpa requested a osso buco with lamb shank. So we're gonna be making that with some creamy mashed potatoes, some crispy kale. And I've already got the lamb shank. I had to pick up 6 of them yesterday at Whole Foods, which actually was pretty reasonably priced. I was really surprised how affordable they were, and they look amazing. So I've got those, the package secured, Sprouts. Let's go do some shopping. All right, today's shopping list, we only have about 17 items. Let's knock that out real quick. What's your opinion on bay leaves? Do they really add a substantial depth of flavor? For those of you that don't know, I'm currently cooking for a family of 6. I was primarily hired for the husband who needs to lose a little bit of weight, and of course he's dancing on that line of diabetes, which is something I did really well with for myself and avoiding that. Let me rephrase that. I didn't prevent my diabetes. I just took it from an 8.1 back down to a 5.6. When I tell people how I got my numbers down, they're just confused. They're like, how do you get your numbers down so fast? I'm like, I did exactly what my doctor told me to do. Exercise, watch what I eat, watch my numbers, don't eat certain foods. I did that, and believe it or not, it worked. The doctor's schooling actually worked. Imagine that. All right, that's everything from the store. So let's get to the house, get set up, get lunch done, and then we'll talk some more. Nobody makes Dad wait. That's all you need is meat and tortilla. That's all I ever put on. It's meat, tortilla, a little bit of the guacamole. That's it. So really quick, I have to interrupt, but Grandma made some homemade dolma, meat filled. Oh my God, it's so freaking good. Sorry, I forgot you were there. All right, so that concludes lunch for today. I'm actually on my way to my apartment to just take a break for a couple of hours, and then I'll head back, finish up dinner. But I'm back at Whole Foods because I wanna make this osso buco. It smelt amazing. So I'm here to get some lamb shank, a couple of other things. I think I'm gonna serve it with some farro and maybe some scorched tomatoes, like a little kosher salt, pepper, maybe some roasted garlic. I think that'll be delicious. Can I go ahead and get this last lamb shank you have here? All right, well, $53 for dinner tonight, and we're good to go. Everything is put away for me to cook tonight for the osso buco, probably tomorrow night. With that being said, I also said doctors might know what they're talking about after school. Funny enough, I used to go to my old doctor. I was with him for 15 years, and I would go see him for everything. And every time I went to go see him, he would tap me on the forehead and say, "How are you doing here?" He says, "I know how your heart is. How's your mind?" And and I would always tell him the same thing. I'm good. And he's like, "Eric," and I'm like, "No, I'm good." I sometimes feel like that's just like the default answer that guys go into, is that we're just good. So truth be told, I used to do therapy. For years, I did therapy. And for those of you that don't know anything about therapy, therapy is a great tool to go and talk to somebody about your stress, your sadness, your frustrations of the world, of everything that's going on, a bad relationship. It's one of the few places you can go to talk about these things without any fear of judgment. Now, a therapist is there to listen, ask questions, and help you see things from a new perspective. They can provide insight and teach you techniques to manage your emotions, reduce your stress, and make positive changes in your life. Look, I understand that therapy can be costly, but there are affordable options out there, such as online therapy platforms, which actually brings me to the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Now, BetterHelp is on a mission to help start making therapy easier. BetterHelp is a platform where therapists and clients can come together, communicate more effectively, and get the most out of therapy. Starting with BetterHelp is actually really easy. You simply fill out a questionnaire and they'll have you matched with a therapist within a couple of days. Now, one of the best things about BetterHelp is that if you're not a good fit with your first therapist, it's okay. You can simply switch until you find a therapist that is a good fit for you. But now if I could just get this back here, and if you wouldn't mind not eating that lamb, I totally appreciate it. They carefully make sure that their therapists on the platform are well qualified, and of course they have their customer support team to answer any other questions you might have. Okay, but seriously though, if you're struggling and think you might benefit from therapy, please click the link in the description or even visit betterhelp.com/culinary-misfits and we'll get you 10% off your first month of therapy. In the meantime, I do need to get back to work. So you visit the website, I'll drive, and I'll see you back at the house. How's it going? Thanks so much. Well, and just like that, dinner service is complete. I was actually in the process of getting ready to start plating, and then she asked me, she's like, is that all you have to do is plate? I was like, yeah, everything's cooked and ready. I just gotta wait an hour or so so she's just like, go home, we can plate it. I'm gonna head home, probably make that lamb shank tonight for myself. It's gonna be a good night.